Alright, on to the second part that we thought would be part of the first part, and possibly the second part. And then it just became too big, which is why we're literally shooting all of this in one take.
It became too big, like what we thought the Wii U was going to be.
Why you gotta hurt me like that?
Hey, I hurt myself.
I'm crying. So anyways, on this one, we're just going to talk about random knickknacks of the Wii U.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
I mean, like, we're not that excited. Let's go.
Whatever this is. Alright, first thing that was a big deal on the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
As you can tell here, this was $1.
Yeah.
My old boss bought it for me. As I was leaving the store, I said, hey, if that ever goes on sale,
you let me know.
You let me know. He literally called me while I was working a shift at my new job and just left a voice message and was like, just come by the store. I owed him a coffee. They finally were clearing these out of the store because they were just like up in the ceiling. Nobody wanted to pay them. I did not want to pay $50.
Yeah, no, like when that game first came out, even me being as heavy into the Wii U as I was, I'm looking at this being like, yeah, no. This is not one of those games. This is Activision, for God's sake. And this is toy video game.
Toy video game, but let's be honest here. And I'll say this because my old boss was obsessed with it. Good.
Oh, no.
The games are actually, like, if they didn't have the toy, these would actually be, like, really, really, like, well-remembered games.
No, and like, it's sad because the initial phase of this game was sacrificing my poor purple boy, Spyro, on an altar.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Luckily, that changed, and maybe we'll get a fourth game that's not Enter the Dragonfly. That's a side tangent.
You're literally hoping that Microsoft saves the day.
Pretty much.
Which, I mean, they actually might.
I mean, they could. But back to
I have more hopes with them.
Yeah, back to the Wii U. With Skylanders, it was that whole big crazy time with Toys to Life. We talked about Amiibo in the first part of this video. But then it was like Skylanders came out before that, and all the Skylanders games came out on Wii U. Mm-hmm. Every one of them. People don't think that Spyro Skylanders Adventure came out on the Wii U. It did, and I'm one of the few mad people who actually knew about that before a certain internet celebrity made it famous.
Yeah, this is the... If by any chance somebody here who's found this channel or watches it also watches Adam Corlick.
Yes.
In the video that he names out a Julian.
That's me.
It's Disc Jerk.
I'm the Julian.
So I've dragged him onto the YouTube because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I mean, none of us know what we're doing. We're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
That's true. So this one, we're going to move on from this one. These were cool. They had their own little amiibos. This continues on with it. The Wii version was where you got Bowser. This one has Donkey King.
And there's a dark version of each of these because that was a thing that Skylanders had. And there's a dark Bowser and a dark Donkey Kong.
Donkey King.
And they are some of the most expensive amiibos.
They're amiibos and Skylanders, which I will admit is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is a little switch at the bottom. That's like...
twist the bottom.
I love that. It's like, oh yeah, no, this overwrites this and goes into this section.
This is what I mean by, this was a Reggie deal. They let him do this one.
Absolutely.
That seems like a Reggie.
And he was the one who promoted it. He was like, and now it becomes a Skylander.
I think it's because Nintendo let him do something, and like it probably worked really well for them.
Oh, yeah.
Side note, this game actually is a really, really good racer. Like, shockingly.
I was going to say, I haven't played the racing.
This one's a racing game.
Because I just played the initial, like, first two.
Yeah, that one's like they added in racing mechanics, and it's actually, like, pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's his, because I would not buy this, because I think the service is offline, too.
I think they are.
Because I think you had to pay for it, if I remember correctly.
I
think there's some games on here, but yeah.
Because, like, I remember when, like, because there was a point in time, for those of you who don't remember, Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all these other different accessory-based rhythm games were everywhere.
Yeah.
You go into any game shop and you throw a stone and hit 3 of them. There were these massive boxes for the band ones especially. They just took all
For the record,
space.
I really do enjoy Rock Band.
Oh, no, absolutely. Like, if I had the money at the time when it was actually, like, relevant, I would have bought them. But that's a lot of cash that I did not have.
Yeah, there was like, it was an online service, so they kept adding new songs that you had to pay for. This was kind of the return of these peripherals because they were actually off the market for at least 5 years, I think, finally.
Yeah.
The market kind of crashed. It got oversaturated.
Yeah.
And people were clamoring for it. And this was a misstep by Activision. If one came out, Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I don't care which one. If one came out, I think it actually would, to this day, be a healthy market of the one.
Yeah. If the two of them had gotten in behind closed doors and went, listen, we'll collaborate, we'll work together, but it's the
Make
one.
one.
It is the one, and that will be the one, and we release it however many years apart, or we keep it as the
or
one.
they rotate like every 3 years, one releases a new one. Like, give space.
That, I could see that still being a thing.
I was at the store selling these. That was the problem. You not just had Rock Band return, you had Guitar Hero return.
Yeah.
That hurt the market. Because people could afford one, they weren't going to buy both. And they split the market that was already, like, small.
It's funny we were talking about the accessories from the last episode. This is one of the few Wii U games that actually supports the microphone.
Yeah, it's Rock Band.
Yeah.
Or Guitar Hero. I prefer Rock Band.
But, like, the one thing that I really found funny, because this copy is from EB Games.
Yep.
When they were doing, like, fire sale clearance, I don't remember how much I paid for this. Nowhere near a sticker price.
No.
But there was a point in time where in Canada, we have a store called Dollarama, which has anything from like candy bars to random excess stuff from shops. Like, you can go in and find stuffed Disney dolls and Pokemon plushies. And they had Rock Band, or not Rock Band, sorry, Guitar Hero TV for the Wii U for $4. This package, just like this. One guitar with the dongle, with the game, full stop, for $4.
Because they were just sitting. They were dead stock.
They were literally just sitting there, and it's like, okay, cool, we'll just go
had
to
like
the
3 of them in
liquidation.
our ceiling until we cleared out all the Wii U stuff.
You had to. Because nobody was picking this up. Even for me, it was a fair amount of time between when this came out and when I finally was like, how much are you guys selling that for? I think I bought this copy for like $10. It was like $9.99.
Something like that, yeah.
And I was like, sure, fine. Here's my 10.
Yeah. And then
take it off the list.
It was fine. It's just, I'm pretty positive this had an online component.
Yeah.
That I think is on the Guitar Hero TV. Yeah, because it was the Music Network. And you were supposed to download stuff. So I think there's stuff on the disc.
Yeah.
But what's on the disc, and that's it.
I think one of the things that will be the most positive out of this is the consoles, and for PC especially, that are not the Wii U. Because this is just a USB dongle that is wireless.
Oh, okay.
So you can just, if I remember correctly, there are some Guitar Hero-esque games.
There's some mods, yeah.
That
the PC scene will take care
of
of
it. On the PC. So that's funny, the disc in and of itself becomes worthless, but the peripheral becomes worth something.
Exactly.
Strange.
And then, before we get into games that we think should be ported...
yes.
So this is my box for this system. This is actually my brother's. I threw out my box ages ago. He kept his when he moved and came back because he needed to store it. And at this point, I'm just keeping the box.
Yeah.
This is the white version that nobody wanted and is now the more sought-after console version, which I think is really funny.
Because
they did end this one really quickly.
I was going to say, this one, the last version of it that you could buy was with Skylanders Swap.
Yep.
That was the last time you could buy the white one.
Yep.
And the white one was shown as the basic set, which shows right here, basic set. And it shows on the front as well. Yep. But on the side, shows you all the basic stuff that you would get. You would get the console, 8 gigabytes of storage, which...
Even then was nothing.
Even then was nothing. Especially when there was stuff that you would download onto it for system memory that eventually took over 4 gigabytes. So you essentially lost half of the damn thing just on updates alone. And you got the charging cable for the controller, you got the power cable for the system, you got HDMI cable, and I think that was it.
You just got literally the console.
It was the most basic thing. You didn't even get the sensor bar.
You didn't get Nintendo Land.
Yeah, you didn't get Nintendo
Definitely
Land.
didn't get Nintendo Land.
And that's why they ended up putting the deluxe edition, and
the deluxe edition just became the standard after.
Yeah, and then they started adding other games. Like there was one that had Mario 3D Land and Nintendo Land. They had Mario and Luigi U. There was a Splatoon bundle. That's when they started going in with the Splatoon.
But even
bundle.
like the only one game really had like a fancy tablet, and that was that Zelda collection.
Yeah, and that's
everything else was just standard.
That's the weird thing about this console, because there's never a slim version of this console.
No, it died too quickly.
It died way too quickly, but that's always the thing that's funny about
Was
Nintendo
it quickly
consoles.
or was it on purpose?
That's the thing about Nintendo consoles that aren't successful, like ones that don't stay around on the market and have that kind of oomph, like the N64. There's no slimmed down version of the
That
N64.
version bombed in Japan. That console bombed in Japan.
The GameCube didn't have a slimmed down version. It had parts removed, but there was not a slimmed down version.
I don't think you could slim down a console anymore. Its design was actually really good.
Oh no, like
no one complained about its size.
No.
Everyone complained about everything else.
But like with the Wii,
and its color.
Even the Wii, they made it smaller. They like took out the GameCube controllers initially, and it was like, okay, you can put it on its side like this.
Yeah.
And then after that point, there was the Wii Mini, which that's a whole other discussion.
There are feet for this thing. I swear I have them somewhere. I guarantee about 40 minutes after we shoot, I'm going to find them.
Probably.
So, if I find it, I'll take a photo. If I don't, say la vie.
Say la vie.
And then in our final ditch effort of this video, this is what I thought would take up the majority of that last video. I didn't realize we'd end up talking on each point so long.
We are passionate about this console. Yeah. Like, as much as we rip on the Wii U, we wouldn't have bought all these games.
Nope.
And bought these systems and all of these peripherals and all the other stuff we talked about if we didn't enjoy this system.
Yeah. And these are just going to be rapid fire. Maybe a discernible order if I think about it in the middle of it. But most of these are just games I want to see on the Switch.
Yes.
They are very good, very fun games. At this point, these ones are locked to this console. There may be a different iteration of it in a handheld form, possibly. But if not, then no.
Yep.
But anyways, first one. NES Remix. This is actually a lot cooler. It is basically just WarioWare, but only the retro games.
Yeah.
Which was the best part in WarioWare, in my opinion.
And then there's like that whole like challenges for like, okay, stomp on this many Goombas in Mario. Try and get to this point in Zelda without the Master Sword.
This is when they were trying to lean on nostalgia as like being like the only way they thought they could make money at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, they still do that, but still.
it's
At least here they did something cool because all the sprites are like kind of redone. They're really nice high res. And then I just sit here and go, why can't I have that game, but it look like this? Like the whole game.
Because Nintendo need to make that selling you Mario for the umpteenth time money.
Yeah. These two are no strangers. Rumors of these have forever. The amount of clickbaity videos I see on YouTube being like, guys, it's coming.
For real.
No. The dragons are coming.
The Titans are coming.
The Titans are coming.
Tiger Sachs and the Bees and the Jaeger.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, of all the games that anybody would expect, especially when Zelda celebrated its 30th anniversary recently.
We got Skyward Sword.
We got Skyward Sword, which I don't have an issue with because they fixed up the motion control aspect of that. But you would expect a dual pack with these on a Switch cartridge easily.
No.
Or even a 3D Zelda All-Stars where you would have, I know that they would be able to do it with 4 because unlucky number, but you could at least have these two and then do another pack that had the 3DS versions of Majora's Mask and
who knows?
Ocarina.
I feel like the rumor of them being completed, there are people who are like, they'll probably come out eventually. They don't know when.
It doesn't make any sense.
I agree with the rumor of it being it exists.
Yes.
But everyone's saying when it's going to come out, it's just like they're done. I can tell you that, and that's it.
No,
which sounds like Nintendo because they make games and sit on them.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, out of the two, I would always say play Wind Waker over Twilight.
Controversial.
I don't know if you're a Twilight fan, but
I like Twilight fan. I do appreciate Wind Waker. It was a real breath of life.
That game tries to be Ocarina of Time so hard it hurts.
Well, yeah, because Ocarina of Time was the game that
so this tries to be it instead of something original and neat and fun.
Which I will absolutely agree. This is original, neat, and fun. But there's something about the way that game goes, though. There's something about Twilight Princess.
What? That's a big, vapid, empty world?
Anyway.
Batman! This was a game that I'm pretty sure was not supposed to be the console launcher. Because I played this at launch. This was the game I picked up. I didn't play Arkham City when it originally came out. I knew I wanted to play it, I just never did. Played it on the Wii U, loved it. Loved the pieces. Loved the weird touch controls. I know it was supposed to be the sequel to Eternal Darkness. Was the rumor that it was supposed to be... Because remember, this is just before Epic Games got in the lawsuit with Silicon Knights.
Holy crap!
And then I think they had to pivot last minute because the lawsuit was just starting, and they did 20 minutes of their show showing Batman. Everyone's like, I've seen Batman. So I think they kind of got stuck with this kind of being a poster child of the console. Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, the rumor was it was supposed to be that, and I'm like, that would make more sense as a launch title.
Yeah.
It was a sequel to Eternal Darkness because Nintendo owns the IP.
Yes.
So
and that whole situation with
this game is good. Don't get me wrong. It's it was a great launch title game, but it should not have been the driving force because everyone played this a year prior, except for me. Because I don't know.
Yeah, no, and when you have that situation where people are like, I literally already own this game, Nintendo, what about this is compelling me to play this other than the fact it's on your Wii U? And it's like a novelty that it's rated M. It's T. It's a Batman game. It's like, he's got the electro fisticuffs.
No, all the upgrades are really cool. I actually like the armor designs better. I know maybe it's just because I played this one first. I like the armor design. Like, everyone has more armor design. Catwoman, Batman. They look great. I do prefer. I like the gauntlets. They added them into Arkham Origins. It's just the game. It's still stuck. This version in particular is stuck on this console.
And that's that weird caveat because it does exist on the Switch, but not that same version.
No, it doesn't exist on the Switch either. They haven't ported them yet. There's they are stated that.
I swore I saw a piece of art that had the two of them on like.
No, I'm pretty sure the game is existing, but I don't know what's going on with Warner Brothers. Like that's its own thing right now with them. Do we have to talk about this one? You brought it up.
Okay. This game really, and I will say this, and this is weird coming from me because I am super critical of the original Wii. Playing this game with the nunchuck and the analog stick, like the Wii wand, it's essentially like a less great version of Sin and Punishment on the Wii. Like having that.
Oh, I think it's a good game. It's just its controls obliterate it.
Literally, if this had another version of it where it was.
Let Platinum re-release this game.
Let Platinum redo this game and not be tethered to. That's the unfortunate hindrance of this, is because Nintendo pushed this hard on Platinum to make it that it had to be working with this.
I feel like that was a Miyamoto.
Yeah.
I feel like that was another time where Miyamoto steps in and you're like, no.
But the one cool thing about this game is Star Fox Guard.
Yeah, I heard that was actually pretty decent.
It's actually really fun, and this is based off of a tech demo from the early days of the Wii U in 2011. And there was another game called Giant Robot Fighter or something along those lines that also was a tech demo. And for a while there, it was supposed to release, but nothing ever came about it. That got canceled. But then it came back as one of the games on Labo. The boxing robot.
Oh, yeah.
They used that. So that's another way of, like, it lived on in a weird way.
And then the next game, which kind of came out on another console, but I'm going to kind of ignore it, Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yes.
This does have a 3DS version, I know, but it doesn't look as good. It still plays fine. Yeah. It's sort of like Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, it's Donkey Kong Country Returns, but is it really? Because it runs at a lower frame rate. Yes, you don't have to use the stupid waggle, like shake the remote, I think it was. You had to shake it up and down. Where this is just a really good, great 10 out of 10 Yoshi poops yarn.
I would say, like,
he poops yarn.
He does poop yarn.
It's amazing. Everything's cuddly. I want to reach into the screen, cuddle it, and take a nap.
And it really is, and that's another thing that, like, is so great about the Wii U, is that it had that higher fidelity. Where you could see the detail, the little tiny
you can see all the detail,
hair strings of on your, like when you have it on a good TV. Oh boy!
Because they have Crafted World, which was done by Feelgood. This was done by Feelgood. They should just throw this on the Switch at some point.
And, yeah,
that would be great.
That's going to be the last.
This game. Oh wait, I don't know. Why did we bring this one up?
That was originally supposed to be, I think, in the other pile.
Yes, this game already did get ported. We'll mention it here. Was considered the poster boy of this of this console, of games that couldn't come out anywhere else. They kind of just Platinum was like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
So, whoops. Tekken Tag. Really just Tekken Tag Tournament 2. The best part about it is there is like a Mario mode where you can do a bunch of stupid stuff, such as like throw mushrooms in the middle of the battlefield, and like one of you will grow. And you can stomp the other person. Please port this. This game was a ton of fun at parties.
No, like. And that's one of those things where it's
I don't even care about Tekken. Its party mode is just fun.
And that would be one of those things where it's just like, that can only, this version on the Switch.
It could only exist on Nintendo. There's not even a reason why it's stuck here. They could just port this game again. They won't, because it's an old fighting game now.
Well, I would argue that there's some grounds to it coming out, because we just got Ninja Gaiden 3.
Fair. They could dump it.
On Switch. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's Namco.
They just throw whatever.
I will argue it's Namco, so they do weird things.
Yeah.
Namco is going to Namco.
Yep.
There's no stopping them. They're re-releasing Tales of Symphonia again, still at 30 frames a second. You know what can run it at 60 frames a second? The power of the GameCube.
Yep.
Because they use the PS2 as the base code. I understand it's the more complete game, but it's a lesser game at the same time.
That's it.
Anyways, port this game.
Yes.
This game, I picked it up because the writing is really good. I had this open on my last year's Christmas special. Color Splash is a lot of fun. The gameplay could be better. I wish it was just more Thousand Year Door. It's not.
We all want more Thousand Year Door.
Or the original. I'll take that. Like, even though it's a little chunkier. I'll take both. Chunk. Game's really fun. The combat is a lot better than it was. They realized a lot of their mistakes from the last game, which was Sticker Star, which was something else.
Oh boy.
But this one was a lot of fun. Would recommend it. Note, if you do pick it up, be a person who prefers writing over anything, because the writing in this game is probably some of the best they've had. Like, the translation team really got away with some stupid stuff. Fantastic, and a bunch of jokes they should not have gotten away with.
I was gonna say, I have not played it. This is one of the few last of my Wii U games that I would want.
Yeah, the writing, they got away with a lot
There's
of
stuff.
stuff.
10 games, and that's like at the top of the list.
Yeah. That was one I had to search out for. Store owner, guy who runs the store. You know what? I'm going to throw him out. Retro Game Chase in Barrie.
Hell yeah, Bobby.
Bobby hooked me up with that. And then the last game, which is the game I think everybody really wants at this point. We're just going to go with that.
Yeah.
No reflection. There we go. Xenoblade Chronicles X. How... Okay, I know they just released 3.
Yeah.
And I do actually, out of the 3 of them, because I played the first one, I skipped the second one, just something about it didn't click with me. 3 looks like it's right up my alley. I just got to finish No More Heroes. Oh, it's off camera. I just have to finish No More Heroes 3, and then I'm playing this. And I'm right at the end of that. This was the game where you knew the hardware was not matching up with what they wanted to do anymore.
No.
This game had an install, but the install had to be the most Nintendo thing I'd ever heard at the time. You had to go into the Nintendo eShop, which is closing soon, by the way, for a free download to put onto your flash memory or your SD, memory stick, or I use a solid state for my Wii U because I'm crazy. Put all that data there just so this can run at like a very consistent rate where you're not bogged down by load times. Let that sink in. Yeah. If you bought the digital version, you were fine.
Yep. Everything was all
they didn't
set
care.
up.
They were like, you're good. If you went for the disc, this is where playing off the optical disc really started chugging at the system. It was like right at the tail end, especially this game, because this game tried to do too much.
And I feel like also that's a perfect way where you can like make a justification for this going onto the Switch with the cartridge. Yeah. How fast those cartridges load. And I would want it where everything is on the cart. I wouldn't want to have anything tethered to the download service because the obvious situation we just talked about.
Yeah.
The servers closed down. It comes for all of us. The bill comes due, be it eShop, be it Wii Channel, be it PSN, which almost happened with the PlayStation Store.
It's going to happen soon.
It will happen soon, and especially with Microsoft. The Xbox 360 store, the marketplace, that's coming to an end.
I don't know, because that's all one service.
But there's stuff on there that you can't buy on the series, though, isn't there?
There's stuff you can't buy, but I think it's all one server.
Oh.
I think Microsoft got real smart with it.
If it is, good for them, because that ensures a longevity. But when it comes to Sony, last year...
Microsoft would take the hit.
Yeah, Microsoft could take the hit because they got oodles of cash. But back to Xenoblade. This really is one of the last big bastions of the console where it's like, the pantry got reaped.
Yeah, they basically opened up the cupboard. What was on here?
Literally, it was like, okay, we can get this Bayonetta 2018. Let's go. Let's do this and this. And it was like everything under the sun.
Anything that was an easy, we own the rights, yoink.
Yeah. And then there's just a few snippets left that are like...
It's like that small box of Kraft Dinner that was stuck in the corner is what's left.
Yeah, and there's a few of them that like... There's some really good gems on the console, but their likelihood of getting ported is unlikely. This is the weird one.
This one can come... Like, I know some people were trying to argue, oh, you need the tablet screen. I'm like, no, I think we've proven time and time again.
Yeah. No, you don't.
You can work around it.
You can work around it. Like, Toad Treasure Tracker for Switch.
Worked on both, no problem. Yep. Actually, this hot take, I actually prefer playing that game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's because you have both zooms at the same time. I don't know. I will argue that I think it is
dual
best.
screen, so
Yeah, it's best on that console. Also, I know it's a technical marvel, according to Digital Foundry. Because they did a bunch of stuff you should not have been able to do, but I'm like, cool, magic, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go! Yeah, this was... Oh, man, this game was too big when it came out. I was afraid of it. Yeah. Game hits a certain size for me, and I'm like, you scare me.
Like, any game that looks at it goes, oh yeah, no, for you to get like a full idea of the story, it's going to take you 20 plus hours. I look at that and I go, ooh.
No, it's not even 20 plus. Yeah, to get... But, like, it took hours to get the mech. Because you get your own mech suit, and everyone battles in a mech.
Oh, no.
So there you have the ground exploration, then you have your mech exploration. The game is really cool. You can sink hours into this game. Because I remember when it came out, like, that was, like... There was a few regulars who would come back and be like, the game's amazing.
There would be an interesting point as to seeing how well number 3 does.
No, 3's already done really well.
Oh, it has?
I think it's done pretty well.
Okay, so
well
that...
done.
I wouldn't be surprised if...
Maybe in a year and a bit.
Yeah. Maybe this would be the swan song for the Switch, because we're coming up to that point now.
I think they're just going to upgrade.
I
think it would be the end of the original Switch.
That's
I
a
can see
question
that
for another time.
Yep. But yeah, that is the end of the Xenoblade Chronicles. The end of these chronicles of episodes that I'm clearly going to have to edit, and he just gets to go home. Of the Wii U, it's been 10 years.
It has.
It died in 4. It did a speed run.
It did.
It sped around the whole life cycle of a console.
Oh, man.
With such wonderful games.
It had 4.5 years, basically.
4.5 years, some solid games that even I'm shocked to this day, like how many of them I even picked up. Like, if you know my background, I cleared this out real quick. I have like a couple rapid fires I could throw off.
Yeah.
We're at the end of this. Other games that I have, Mass Effect 3, best version of the game at the time. Sonic Lost Worlds. I actually kind of like it. It's not great. I wouldn't say it's like a 10 out of 10. It's a solid 7.
You know what it is? Sega really needed to stick with a game and polish it. They did that, and they dropped it, and they went on to Sonic Boom.
The cartoon's really good.
Cartoon's great.
Injustice, Batman Among Us.
Among Us.
That was actually like not a... Mortal Kombat, because I couldn't get Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
DuckTales Remastered. This was actually like the best version of the game for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like the sought-after physical copy. The game I like that nobody else does is Batman Arkham Origins.
Yep.
The game that will leave you on prom night. Mighty Number 9. I do not forgive this game. I gave them money. I never got my free copy for my 3DS. Oh, wait. It never came out.
Oh.
Because I picked that one like a moron. Because I was like, I will get the physical copy for the Wii U. I bought that for $2.
That version of the game, if not played correctly,
it's patched.
It has been patched?
Yeah,
because I remember when that first came out,
you could break the console.
You could break the console. Like, unintentionally, easily.
Yep.
Oh boy!
Yep, that's the game that ruined... that's actually one thing you can say about the Wii U. Like, there it is. There's the game that destroyed Inafune, the supposed father of Mega Man. Which is now really in question.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, the game is, like, half decent, but for the money he got, this whole saga, like... Was that even 10 years ago now? Yeah, it would have been.
Mighty Number... When he did the initial
Kickstarter.
I think it was 2014? 2015?
Yeah. No, because I remember waiting for this game, and, like, there were so many mistakes made with it. And I actually don't even think the character's that bad. I think Beck and Call is actually really funny.
It would have... It needed some more time, and it needed somebody other than Inafune doing it.
Well, the guys who made the Mega Man Zero games and make the Azure Striker games, which are just Mega Man clones anyways, they now own the IP. They just bought them out and took the IP.
Nice.
So, like, maybe one day we see Mighty Number 9, but it's still, like, got the stain all over it of what he did.
Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
0 hour.
And then the last one I bought is Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Ah.
This is actually the best version of the game. Hands down. Runs at 60, uses the tablet. Fantastic, M-rated, has the weird black banner that they were doing with all their M-rated games at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Straight Right was a developer that knew exactly how to work with the Wii U hardware and make it playable.
If only we got more of that.
Yeah, I think they were the only one. If I remember correctly, I think they also did Mass Effect. They took their name off. I think I'm correct on that, though.
We'll put a little text at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll add a text, but I'm pretty sure they also did the Mass Effect one, and then right after that, their project was Deus Ex. And that game came out very quietly.
Yeah.
They were just like, here.
Don't talk to us anymore. This console's dead.
Yeah. We made our contract, we fulfilled it, Nintendo can go away. They only wanted to make games for the 3DS after that.
Which I would say probably got them way more money.
Oh, 3DS was gang. I don't think I knew a single person without a 3DS at the time. Like, if you played games, like, genuinely, you had a 3DS. Yeah, everybody had one.
I was going to say, I did not get a 3DS until the new Nintendo 3DS came out. I was one of those people.
That was fine. It was a great backlog of system. Like, if the console just had a buttload of games. And then, like, unfortunately, they made a very poor choice in game releases right at the end, and I think that's what botched it. They should not have remade a few games, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But
we can get it done.
Yeah, that's a 3DS adventure.
If you'll have me.
Maybe
Maybe
it's a Christmas present. Anyways, guys, that's it for all of this. The odds and ends, the weirdness of it all. It's such a bizarre console. If you were to collect for it, just know what you're getting into first.
Yeah. It is,
it has the Saturn problem.
It really does.
You have to know what's in there before you dive in.
And, like, it's one of those situations where it would be an arguable point of, just because of the cost of some of the games.
Yeah.
Not even just like, oh, okay, well, you know, this game, like, held its value at 60. Nah. There's just random games that you would never expect. Like, Unwritten Tales 2. A game that hardly anybody cares about. Is a $400 game.
Also, I meant the Crudes.
Yeah, and the
Crudes is really
just
expensive.
Random movie tie-in stuff that nobody ever cares about on this console is like 100 Canadian dollars, no questions asked.
That's why I say you don't know what's rare until it's too late.
Yeah.
Just play what you like, people. Just like, we're gonna go probably play some Tekken.
Hell yeah.
Have a good night. Thank you for coming on again.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, take care. Have a good one. Always wear a mask. Because he goes,
I have too many fucking Wii U
he
games.
just looked at me and just went, if you're buying physical Wii U now, he goes, you are buying this.
I remember seeing that on the shelf for like $30. Nobody was picking it up, and I'm like, done.
Yeah, it was a good game. I picked up the... What was it? Lego City.
Yeah.
And I was horribly disappointed by it.
Really?
I really wanted to like it.
I actually enjoyed that one.
Load times destroy me. That game had... Buy it.